All right, today we're going to be talking about the artist Frank Stella. We're going to be looking at the Frank Stella module. Again, if you're attending the class and you are watching the lessons, you don't have to go through the modules. That's what we do during the class lesson. And then your make day videos will help you out actually creating the project. All right. Oop. Hi, friends. I wanted to introduce you to one of my other favorite artists, Frank Stella. Frank used a lot of lines in his work, and we're going to be looking specifically at how Stella used parallel lines and vertical horizontal lines early on in his work to create simple shapes. We see these diagonal lines, horizontal lines, vertical lines, keeping it simple, and even his use of color is really simple. So, a little bit about Frank Stella. He's an American artist who was born in Massachusetts in 1936. When he was young, his father painted houses to earn money while studying to become a doctor. That's when Stella learned about different paints and tools. Later, he attended Princeton University and eventually moved to New York City with encouragement from his teachers. Stella is known as a leading figure in the minimalist movement, though the work he creates today is very different from the works that made him famous. So part of the process is we're looking sort of what was the process like for this artist. Stella's artistic style changed over time as he experimented with new styles. When he was younger, he was inspired by abstract artists like de Kooning, Klein, and was dissatisfied with creating abstract paintings, and he wanted to find a new way to paint. And so when we're looking at our work and what we're going to create, we're going to be looking at two particular sort of periods or two particular elements, I should say, um, uh, well, genres that he worked in. And the first one is has to do more with this geometric shape, these simplified colors, and these lines that run parallel with each other. It's kind of those are some of the hallmark stuff. To find his style, Stella practiced painting over artworks again and again until he came up with something unique and all of his own. Here are some of the early works that inspired him. The first painting was created by Jasper Johns. Frank Stella was inspired by the repeating bands of the target to create his painting. So you can see this is what Jasper Johns did. This is sort of the response that Frank Stella had. The black painting. Stella's black and white minimalist paintings helped launch his career. While finishing a series called The Black Paintings, he realized he developed the new style that he was looking for. The paintings feature thin or thick lines drawn in geometric patterns. And that's really sort of the hallmark of this early part of his career. Oh yeah, he worked in enamel paint. I love it when artists work in something kind of unique. Boop, boop, boop. Let's skip the page there. Try it again. Stella's style. Stella's artwork is non-objective because he painted and chose colors from his imagination. And now those could be abstracted, but also the subject matter. There's no identifiable thing that he's painting. He's simply using shape and color. Line, shape, color, that's what do you notice about the lines, shapes, and colors? Select each tab to learn a little more. So, of course, just non objective means there's not representing anything in real life. The horizontal lines and vertical lines are created with each square. If you look closely, it also looks like there's invisible diagonal lines that are created by where the vertical and horizontal lines meet. Yes, they do create rhythm and movement. And of course, we've got lots of great perfect symmetry because it's using that repeated same square over and over and over again. Frank Stella sure loved all kinds of lines. Some of his artwork was symmetrical and sometimes it was asymmetrical. Remember, symmetrical is when the two sides of something are exactly the same. Oh, we're going to do this in the studio make day. So the studio time. So again, we're gonna do the studios all in one time on make day, you're going to turn in as one project. You're not going to do these all separate and turn them in like you did last semester, turning things in over and over and over again. But this project, with this little video, can help you with what we're going to do in creating the final piece. We're not going to watch it, but if you want to take a look at it, you're more than welcome to. I'm going to try to keep today's lessons a little short because the make day is really long. We're gonna spend a lot of time making some cool Stella stuff. So think outside the canvas. How did Stella come up with this? I mean, the canvas isn't even square. Wish an idea like him. I wonder where I could find my inspiration. So this is the piece, and she's right. There's no corners up there on the canvas. It's not on a rectangle like we normally see. All artists feel stuck sometimes, but asking a friend or family member for suggestions can inspire some new ideas. Stella was interested in his minimal works, but grew frustrated with his canvas. His friend suggested that he change the shape of the surface, so he gave it a try, and it opened up a whole new world for him. So you can see he painted on stars and that sort of thing, on these cool random shapes he decided to paint on, and it just adds a little extra interest to the work itself. Colorful lines. As Stella experimented with color, he realized that line makes color move through his artwork. When you look at his work, a variety of lines, shapes, and colors guide your eyes through the work of art. So he used it called the protractor process, where he used a protractor, a way of drawing circles, to create these circles and half circles in his works of art. And this is one of the periods that's related to what we're going to be doing. And again, Studio Time has you creating some of these as well. We're not going to do these individually. We're going to do one big project. Again, we'll talk about it more on the make day. Just like Laura Line needs to change her diet, an artist's style often changes through their careers. Stella's work was anything but minimal later on, and you can see how much more complicated these things got. He's got a collage sort of look going on, lots of organic shapes, not so much with the geometric shapes. Wild, crazy color, and not so much those primary and secondary colors. So Stella lines. There's so much variety in Stella's art later work, but that doesn't mean he stopped using lines. See if you can match the lines to the correct name. So diagonal lines, well, those are diagonal lines. Parallel lines, they're all parallel lines. Horizontal lines. I believe that's this one. Yeah. What about parallel lines? Hmm. Yes, because perpendicular lines are going to be your lines come one direction, then intersect then the lines at the 90-degree angle there. All right. Artistic freedom. In his later work, Stella removed the canvas altogether. He needed the freedom to create lines, shapes, and colors in any way he wanted. His new style made many different elements working together to create unity. He was known as maximalist. Stella's new artwork used layers upon elements to create single pieces, and there's no limits. So one of the things he did was use layered patterns, where you've got one type of pattern laid over or working closely next to another type of pattern. He also experimented with computer software and started creating layered sculptures. He used computer assisted design to create some of his artwork. These are really very interesting. Now, it's your chance to practice playing in your own work. You're going to use interactive video to sketch and express your maximalist attitude. We're going to stop and wrap it up here today because we got an extra long make day, and I look forward to seeing you in class on Wednesday or Thursday, depending if you're 7th or 8th grade.